Welcome back, everybody. Now, our next guest is one of only 2 certified PEI human lie detectors in South Africa. She also wears so many hats, including those of master life coach, published author, international keynote speaker. But what does a human lie detector actually do, and why do we need those? Well, for a better explanation, Lizette Volkwyn joins us now via Zoom for more. Lizette, a very good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Now, give us a brief background into how you became a certified PEI human lie detector and what that entails.
Well, a human lie detector is actually an expert communicator who actually don't need any polygraphs, machines, or any tools to pick up whether you lie or not. So I became a life coach in 2010, and then I decided to, everybody lies. And to get my clients as quickly as possible to the real truth and the core of the problem, I picked up that I can become a human lie detector, which is a Paul Ekman Institute in Manchester. And in 2013, I went overseas to London and I got my certification on human lie detection. We pick up lies through your subconscious tells.
I still don't get it. I mean, how do you dictate lies without a polygraph? I still don't get it.
Well, you don't have any control, and neither do I, and anybody else for that matter, can control our subconscious mind. Now, our subconscious mind knows exactly when we lie. And the moment we do, our whole mannerism, the way we speak, our grammar, everything goes out of sync. And that is exactly the reason why our subconscious mind is telling us that. So, for instance, when I say, I love being on Morning Live, you would see I do not pick up my shoulders. But if I would have gone and said, I love being on the show, I'm not believing a word I'm saying. And that would have been my subconscious mind contradicting and going out of sync. And that is the tells we are looking at.
Lizette, what if somebody speaks in a particular way that would make you think that they're actually lying, yet they're not?
Well, here's the thing. Before I can start evaluating anybody for that matter, and companies do hire me for the high-end appointments, and when they do hire me, all I look for the tells. But before I can do that, I need a 20-minute baseline. So when we look at any conversation I will have with you, it will be a normal conversation for about 20 minutes. And then thereafter, any deviation of that baseline, I would start investigating and ask more questions around that deviation to pick up whether you lie or not.
Wow, this is very interesting, eh? And what would you point out as some of the highlights of embarking on this journey?
Oh, well, there's so many of them, but yes. We had especially in my coaching environment where I have clients and they says, a lot of the women that come to me and say, please make me strong enough that I can divorce my husband, or the husbands will come and say, I just want to understand my wife. And with embarking on these questions, I get people where I say, okay, tell me more about that affair. And they go, how did you know? And it's just that those deviations which I've picked on.
Now, talk to us about your book, Finding Me. That's a book on self-discovery. I mean, what's the inspiration behind this book?
Well, every one of us, we never are taught who are we and what is our core values. And when I originally started my journey as a life coach, what have happened is that, I woke up one morning and I was Mrs. Volkwyn, the mother of my children, and I was successful in my career, but I didn't feel whole. And then I started questioning, who am I? Where do I come from? What do I stand for? And all the self-help books out there were, who are you can do this. But no one gave me that bridge of how to get there. And then I thought, let me make a workbook where everybody can relate to. And now in this book, we cover who am I? And I'll show you the gremlins that holds us back, that we don't believe in ourselves. Then what is your core values? There are over 500 core values. You have to find your top 20 because that's the drive for who you are and why you make certain decisions. And then obviously forgiveness comes to the play and communication. And that's why I started that book.
Right. And currently your main focus is training people to master the truth and communicate more effectively. Tell us more about this and what that entails.
Oh, definitely. I was so excited. We had our first workshop in South Africa about 2 weeks ago, and we had absolutely a blast. I
Right.
joke, I said, I teach people how to lie, but no, I do people to become more effective communicators because then we can tell them, pick up on the lies, and we can show out, not say, oh, you are lying. But what I can do is to say, you know what, I'm picking up there's something that you don't telling me the truth, but I don't have to show you that. I
Right.
can just change my way of communicating with you to get more information and get to the real truth. Even when we sell in sales, when we start expressing to the buyers, and the buyers are shifting us around, and we have to do the runarounds, and we don't know if this buyer is going to buy from us. I teach people to look at those points too. And also in relationships, we tend to be so picking up and feeling offended instead of listening attentively to see what they are really telling us.
You know, it's quite interesting that to say this, Lizette, because, you know, a lie has got so many variations, but the truth, none. So what if
That's so
someone puts
true.
it to you that what they're telling you is actually a fact, because they can, you know, they can always support that with facts. It's not a lie. And you may look at that as a lie, but they've got supporting facts. How do you
Well,
navigate
here's the
around that?
thing. You have to understand there's always three truths. My perception, your perception, and the real facts in reality, whosever reality that could be.
Right.
And we have to understand and communicate to see from which angle are we viewing the truth. And I'm not talking about the liar who literally says, I didn't take the money, and he did. But what I'm saying is we have to be very careful when we feel, you know, we always say we feel offended. But guess what? Offense is taken, not given. And when you start understanding that, your way of listening changes as well.
I just wish that, you know, we can use you to check whether politicians are lying or not. Like if I were to tell you now that I'm running for president and I will take care of you, I'll take care of every need, you know, I will get rid of load shedding and I'll do everything. Am I lying?
Oh, for sure. You have done so many tells for me at this point in time. Your voice changed, you peaked, you started talking faster, you didn't do any stops, so you completely changed your baseline.
All right, Lizette, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for joining us. And how can people, you know, just get in touch with you?
Well, it's very simple. I think the best way is to direct them to my website, which is lizettevolkwyn.com, or Instagram at Lizette_Volkwyn, and then obviously on Facebook at Confidently Finding Me.
All right, Lizette, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Have a lovely day.
You too. Thank you. Well, Lizette Volkwyn is a master life coach, published author, international keynote speaker, and one of only 2 certified PEI human lie detectors